Good afternoon, Sinda, and welcome to your committee. I am honored
Mandev constituency, represent the good people of Mandev as the MP. My name is Christopher Shakafuswa. I'm the vice.
You're welcome.
It's on budget, income and expenditure. Maximum revenue. However, the negative variances arose from receipts due to community engagement was still going on at the time of audit. Action taken. Management wished to state that task force leading to an increase in issuance of certificates and health permits. Further, enhanced marketing of the blade-making venture. Operating partners, which is local impact, the community business led to an increase in the revenue base. Remedial measures. Management according to regulations. Furthermore, the council management shall continue sensitizing the community in all A on this query.
You can take us through, we shall refer to it. As a matter of guidance, yes, from page 4, that's where we are. B, which is deliverable targets / outputs not achieved. So we begin with management of local acquisition fund on page 8 as your item.
Thank you, Chair. Failure to implement approved projects. On page 9, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observations, state that the 2 projects costing 253,000, which was for loose tools, was not implemented due to the authority sought from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development project to for council urban kwacha from purchase of loose tools for the abattoir. Authority to towards the procuring of the solar system for the variation 3,000 meant for boreholes allocated the monies to the construction of a water reticulation system at the site awaiting screening inspection measure endeavor to complete see appendix. Chair. On page 10, points. Chair, I'll take you to 12. Cause of query. We acknowledge the difference the two water crossing points as shown period alongside community sensitization and collaboration with traditional leadership on the importance of securing public properties. See Appendix E, Chair.
Progress.
On page 13, these are cross-cutting issues, Chair. And on Appendix 132, Appendix 1, it's the audit opinion. And Chair, we are saying the Council will continue to work hard and record an qualified opinion, as it is shown in the table, Chair. On page 14, budget, funding and expenditure. Management response, cause of query. Management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and state that the unspent funds amounting to 1,942,965 was due to the delayed receipt of the Local Government Equalization Fund, which was done on 29th December 2023, amounting to 787,303 kwacha. Further, the contribution for KFW amounting to 400,000 kwacha was held in the account subject to the contractor processing the construction of the. In addition, that 500,000 was reserved for Phase 3 street lighting project, and the remaining 255,662 was for the completion of the council bar and restaurant. Action taken. Management wished to report that the unspent funds amounting to 1,942,965 kwacha have since been spent, as the contractor has possessed site on the bus station and the modern market. Phase 3 street lighting was also done, and the bar and restaurant, as we are talking, Chair, it's at 90%. Remedial measures. The council management will endeavor to spend funds within the budget period. See Appendix B, because, Chair, this query is similar to Appendix B.
Progress.
Page 15, failure to settle statutory and other obligations. Management response. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings on failure to settle outstanding statutory obligations amounting to 4.2,071,731 was due to historical debts, penalties and interest in terms of ZRA and NAPSA, trade creditors, staff creditors, NEMA and Madison Insurance, amounting to 2,850,000 to meet the wage bill at gross, and having low revenue base in the district, as the council depends mainly on farm produce, which was also seasonal. Taken. Management wished to state that came up with a payment plan to liquidate the outstanding obligations, and so far payments of NAPSA of 20,000, 6,462 ngwe, management has continued to make payments on a daily basis to cover for the current and remedial measures. Management is committed as it continues to liquidate the outstanding obligations through the payment plan that is in place and will continue the deductions as paid. Chair, see Appendix F.
Progress.
On page 16, Management of Local Government Equalization Fund. Management query. I wish to acknowledge the auditor's observations and state that the balance brought forward amounting to 2,358,843 were also committed funds meant for phase 2 installation of street lights. Council Bar and Restaurant amounting to 1,173,629. Contributions towards construction of a 400,000. Operations 21,000 meant for salary advances, allowance, loading. In addition, the 1,189,002 and 12 with 710,278, which was monies, were totaling to 199,290 were committed funds. The 822,840, which is distributed on 232,958, 37 ngwe, and 589,881, 63 ngwe, was meant for the first phase towards construction of the bar and restaurant, the conference hall respectively. The 500,000 was for phase 3 street lighting. 173 meant for 2,300 was 75,000 kwacha for motorbikes, 61,000 and 80 for and 54,700 since to cater for the council operation.
Honorable members.
Thank you, Chair. I refer to how spent $500,000. The remaining council bar and to account how the 400,000 was spent. Yes, we are referred to of 400,000 kwacha. On this, seek is the total contract almost 15 million. Counterpart funding and would you to recoup or that you provided 100,000 kwacha counterpart funding?
WV, which is or as a local authority right now to contribute and if you right position meaning that we'll be working hard this contract, but the 400,000 kwacha was the only amount that we were asked to pay during this period of consultation and
It will be owned by the council.
yes, it will be owned by the council.
100%.
100%.
Perfect.
Yes.
On page it's on the approved failure. It was on C, or it's a different one. It's a different.
942,000. So the 400,000 is well accounted for, and in addition, the 500,000 was reserved for phase 3 street lighting project. Balance for the completion of the bar. So let us see how the 500,000 is spent for. To show, and 85,000 kwacha was one question. Why the financials clarity is there's a on appendix B, these street lights. So it's anyway, is observed.
See the
well as the
page before 5.
There's a of complete that.
Members. So you can speak to it, Doc.
yes. So the ledger. Side, this ledger is trying to explain how the 500,000 kwacha, which was reserved for phase 3, Carry North Limited, and also BP, and this budget. About account 2023. So funding for these two courses it is 2023.
Can you clarify that, CS?
That 100. Why? Because remain with as a council. $5,100 from the 500,000 that we have mentioned.
So if
in
we
short,
if we see me Honorable Mwanza is talking about want to that was utilized, but the you have where you are now explaining. So the first top there of 397,500 was for what? And which phase was this?
The top
Now you got another additional funding to go 485.
Chair, the street lights were in 3 phases.
Okay, this
This is dating on the ledger, and it's saying 485,100, leaving the balance for them to start working on the defects that we may have.
so the 19,000 kwacha was for the defects on the first phase.
For retention, yeah.
Then you added 500. To cost.
Go to page 3. The the 55,662 for the completion of the council bar and the restaurant. So if you add 255, 500 plus 400 plus the 787, it's exactly coming to 1.9 million kwacha. And you've mixed information how to spend where you spend this money. Here on this ledger you're talking of 400,000. You're explaining no. Here, even though we have got two is for this other one 397 is project by project. No? That would make
go to the cross cutting. You have broken down the different projects. I think when we go there, that's when now we shall ask now project accounts. The way you have tabulated or explained on the cross-cutting issues, I follow. I think we can pick something there. Let's go to cross-cutting issue on the equalization fund. So on page 1, Yes, on page 16.
To be impossible.
even the local the closing
funds.
I'm back. And wages. So before it came, and we had to borrow funds from that account, and we only managed to pay back afterwards. Yes, Chair. And that's why you've seen that there was a balance 0.9 to
supposed to be 1,270 kwacha. And the projects that were affected, what is their status as at now?
Sorry. The project that was mainly affected I think for we had that was used into the other funds to cancel the salaries, Chair. But that not buy maybe the materials that we required at the time. So hence we had to borrow and reimburse it later.
You reimburse in as of today. 1 point.
Chair, we have the money. Where we also have a receipt from Tonrex, the 400,000. We've also made another payment towards the bar and restaurant. That's why I think when you look at the pictures, you'll find that even the status has changed to 90%, because at the time, maybe earlier than that, the project was still behind.
So there are no variations in the bar project.
Chair, at the moment, there's nothing.
Okay. Next question, Honorable Dr. Manga.
Okay, on the same project, bar and restaurant, the contract sum is 1,406,085. Think that the project is at 90% completion. Which are actually incomplete details, incomplete financial details, like bank transfers. You only see a request for payment. You don't even know whether that payment was made or not, which is a common problem. The financials that the contractor has received so far does not match the physical progress of 90%. I know it might be 90. Second question is on page on the same on appendix B. Says there's a letter that NY Engineers Art Limited wrote to the client to say seeking for a date swap pertaining to the same project. Like the contractor requested for 3,000 6-inch concrete blocks, and he got 60 liters of diesel from the client. And so the letter says, we are writing you to request for a date swap with 3,000 concrete blocks and 60 liters of diesel fuel. We hereby authorize you to deduct the amount of 22,401 from our contract account, construction works, bar and the restaurant. A contractor who has a full contract, and then he writes a letter to the client saying, you borrow me and the question is paid based on the quantity. There are no unit rates for materials, diesel like concrete blocks. Anyway, allow this. Can
the case, but for
when in form of 4 blocks, yeah, council, since we are also in the business of making blocks. So he said, instead of me of you dry rate. So he said his so that just the man and we give him the blocks, because we are in block making. It's not that we are giving him for free, no, or that we gave him fuel. No, that fuel was used to transport the blocks to the site where he's constructing. Thank you, Chair.
You gave the fuel or the
He bought that up, so that fuel was put in the tipper truck, and the blocks were loaded on the tipper truck, which he transported those blocks to his premises. So we did calculate how much it costed for the blocks, and also how much it costed for us to transport the blocks to his premises. So that was the total cost.
So for the blocks, it costed how much? The blocks how much, then the transport, the fuel how much? Where is that information?
Because of the market, he wanted 401 for the 60 liters, and then 21,000 for the blocks, so which came to a total of 22,401 kwacha 16 ngwe. I submit, Chair.
Yes, Dr. Manza.
And the concern is not about how the transaction was done, but it is a breach of contract conditions, payment conditions. So, because when you are paying back, when you are deducting from the contractor, because you need to recover this 22,400, which article on the are you going to use this money?
Yes.
And where a contractor gets materials from a client, how are you going to test the quality of the contract? Your own block making machine, you have made this material, made this block, then you take to the laboratory, test your to test.
Because what we just looked at, I think at the time, what the contractor wanted.
Because of the gender issues, you've seen the committee is the opposite of yours, so I will allow Honorable Kampamba also to say something.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon. Good afternoon, Sinda. Of course, I'm very happy and very proud that I think in a very long time sitting, it's the only council I've seen where it has terrorized the male sector. So local government, well done. We feel balanced, we feel noticed, and we feel like we are also making strides in this sector. So well done. Most of them are never balanced either.
I wanted you to be comforted after the greeting. And so we appreciate your appearance. Our deliberation has brought to the fore a few concerns. Key among them is the underperformance in locally generated revenue. Number 2, failure to implement planned projects and unspent funds affecting service delivery. The Council's inability to utilize available funds and failure to pay outstanding statutory obligations, which clearly indicates that you need to urgently reform your financial strategies. Hence, the committee recommends that you prioritize, number 1, revenue collection. You are implored to implement better levy and payment collection mechanisms, address the underperformance. Number 2, project implementation. Ensure that the 253,000 allocated for the 2 projects is properly utilized. Number 3, budget execution. Address the delays in spending the 942,965 in unspent funds. Debt clearance. The committee recommends that you quickly settle the 4.2 million in outstanding statutory obligations. And in conclusion, the Council must strengthen the financial controls and ensure efficient project implementation. I wish to withdraw the immunity that was given to you at the beginning of the presentation, meaning that what you now say beyond this is at your own discretion. I wish to officially conclude our interaction. The meeting is officially closed. We will ask that you take leave and travel back to Sinda and implement better strategies to improve service delivery in Sinda. Thank you so much.
Parliament Television, and there you have it. That was Sinda Town Council with the Council Secretary, Ms. Mary Chongo, and her team making their submission to the Committee on Local Government Accounts on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the audit of accounts of the local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. And still to make a submission is Katete Town Council to the Committee on Local Government Accounts. We also expect Lavushima Town Council to make a reappearance before the committee. Keep watching Parliament Television, the only station that brings Parliament closer to you. Just now, we take a short break.